As you can see, I'm in my living room today. Where my desk is doesn't have heating and it is about 0 degrees out. Kaede Tefantes, hello everybody. My name is Elizabeth. I have a master's in classics from Oxford and a BFA in illustration from Massart, which is going to be relevant today because we are going to be drawing Hermes, if the gods are willing. I wanted to do an illustration a bit like the one I did of Apollo, but for Hermes, thank you to, I'm going to mispronounce your name, I'm sorry, Aiginos for the suggestion. Hermes is one of my favorite gods. I think he is so interesting and kind of multifaceted and kind of difficult to pin down and kind of always changing. He has so many different aspects of a god and is so kind of hard to sort of like condense into something simple. I feel like sometimes retellings will really simplify him. Like I know that Rick Riordan did not have anything to do with this, but the second Percy Jackson film, which I was subjected to by a friend, they literally make Hermes into a mailman. It's like, no. Like he is an underworld deity first and foremost, or maybe not like first and foremost, but like he's like basically 50% an underworld deity. Like he's not a mailman. Being a messenger is arguably not even his primary attribute. He can often be really friendly and helpful, like to Odysseus, but he can also be like kind of turn on a dime and be somebody completely different. I really like this book that my dad gave me, or maybe I stole it from my dad. Sorry, Dad. It's by Carl Karenyi, who was friends with Jung and did some work with Jung. Karenyi was a classical scholar, but he's not writing this book with the kind of academic rigor that you would find if you read like an academic article like on JSTOR or something. The reason that I like this book, even though it is a little bit more kind of like off script, is that he talks about some really interesting kind of aspects of Hermes' personality that you just wouldn't really find like on his Wikipedia page, for example. For example, he talks about how Hermes is associated with nighttime, with like a sudden stroke of good luck, like serendipity, with four-sided shapes. You might think like, well, four-sided, that sounds so random, but there is an ancient form of like a signpost basically that was a column about this wide, and it has a bust of Hermes on the top of it. Usually he's bearded with long hair, and I think that it would basically tell you which direction to go in. So I guess they chose Hermes because he kind of has to do with crossroads, and also because he is very often like helpful to mortals. He talks about how Hermes is very often hungry, which is interesting because in some texts it's sort of implied that the gods don't really eat food, they like just drink ambrosia, and they definitely do eat food. There are a lot of other sources where it's clear that they do. So the reason that the subtitle is Guide of Souls is because he is a guide of souls. He is something called a psychopompos. Psyche means soul in Greek, so psychopompos is literally like sender of souls. But enough backstory for now, let's get drawing. Okay, so to start off with, I need some reference photos. I'm gonna start off by going to the British Museum website just because their search engine is really good. I have very mixed feelings about the British Museum, as you guys know if you've watched my videos before. If you do use this search engine, you're gonna get mostly like 18th century, you know, more modern stuff. So you can like set the production date. I'm gonna go 550 to 400. I forgot that I had all these photos from the Hermes section of something called LIMC, which is a German encyclopedia of basically visual representations of figures from Greek myth. So like there's a whole section on Hermes, and it will show you basically every single visual depiction of Hermes. So he has this hat that I believe is called a petasos that is like folded up at the back. A petasos just is like a traveling hat, but in his case it seems to always be folded back. He also carries a caduceus, which is his wand. The vase paintings that I've seen pretty much always show it as like a stick with a circle and then like a U shape on the top. I'm not sure what that's supposed to represent. I don't know if that's like a simplification of something, but I'm just gonna draw it the way that I see it. The kind of like more detailed caduceus with the snakes winding around and the wings, that doesn't really come in until a bit later. So you can see that often he's shown as like an older man with a beard. I don't know if that's the look that we're gonna go for today or not. I usually don't draw him with a beard just because so many of my other characters have beards. So that's like one way that I can make him look different. I love how men in archaic vase paintings like just do not skip the leg days. His sandals are very often just like a little woo in like archaic vase painting. They're really, really simple looking. And then like as you go further forward in time, they get like a little bit more detailed and you can tell more that they're like actually wings. So I don't know what look we're gonna go for today. We shall see. So he usually wears a chlamys, which is like a traveler's cape. It's usually like pinned on one side. Oh, he's carrying a ram. I forgot that there's a story about him carrying a ram. Krioporos. Yeah, Hermes Krioporos, ram bearer. Hermes averted a pestilence from the city by carrying a ram around the walls. To commemorate this, Calamus made an image of Hermes carrying a ram upon his shoulders. Whichever of the youths is judged to be the most handsome goes round the walls at the feast of Hermes carrying a lamb on his shoulders. Once again, fact check Wikipedia if you're going to use Wikipedia because it's very often wrong. but it's good to like get the lay of the land. Often his hat is like hanging behind him and he's got it like on a strap, I think. I kind of like that look. Ooh, I like this design on his dress here. I don't know if I should call it a ketone or not. I love how because of the little circle on his sandals, it almost looks like he's wearing Converse. So my paintings usually take me like 20 hours. We're gonna see if we can do this one in 2 hours. Okay, I found a reference photo that I like, but I think I'm gonna make it so that his head is like tilted backwards a little bit. Also, the sun is going down on me, so the light is definitely going to change. This is my first winter back in New England, having lived in the UK for 4 years, so it's kind of hitting me hard. I think I want to put a shape behind Hermes the way that I did with Apollo. Maybe we'll do a square instead of a circle. Since, as I said, Corinne, you said he's associated with four-sided shapes. Ooh, I like this square. I think this is working well. I think I'm not going to show him with a lyre just because I gave Apollo a lyre and I feel like that's going to make him look like Apollo. But he did invent the lyre and then he traded it to Apollo for Apollo's cattle, which he stole. Ooh, maybe I'll do Athena next. So I feel like Hermes and Athena are always like together. They're like the dream team. There was a knock at the door just now and I opened it and it was 3 Mormons inviting me to their church service. I took their business card. I did not tell them that I was in the process of making a video about Hermes. I wish they had said something about God because my line is always like, which God? You gotta be more specific. God loves you. Which God? What kind of hair should I give him? I think I'm gonna give him this like thick boyish hair that's kind of like really big curls that I usually do. That usually seems to work pretty well. It's just kind of hard to draw. Like I haven't like figured out the shape language yet. I just brought in this drawing of Hermes from my sketchbook. I think this might be the best drawing of him that I've done. I feel like it looks a bit more unique. Like usually when I draw him, he just looks like everybody else. So I think I'm gonna keep the general look here, but we're gonna make him a little bit more of a twunk. I know my audience. I like what's happening with the sandals right now. I think I'm gonna keep that. So this is definitely gonna take me more than one day. This is Friday Elizabeth signing off and Saturday Elizabeth signing on. Okay, so what I've done is just colored in all of the separate elements so that I can like change the colors separately without having to like color in every single shape every time and like just focus on adjusting the colors. So I think that I want his skin to be a little darker. He spends a lot of time outside. I have such trouble with skin colors. I feel like it just always looks weird. All right, so I'm super happy with the way that this came out. All right, hopefully he looks like he's bored. Maybe I'll make like stickers out of like this one and the Apollo one. Well, this was fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and you can leave me a comment with anything you'd like to see in the future. If you liked my artwork, I post more of that over on my Instagram and TikTok, so you can head over there and give me a follow if you would like to. So I have some exciting news. I have started a Patreon, so if you'd like to join me over there, I would be so appreciative. In addition to supporting my making free content for you guys, you will also get access to exclusive content, members-only chats, members-only voting, and a monthly speed paint of one of my illustrations. The link for that is in the description box below. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful holiday season.